Hey there guys, how's it going? So there's a fair bit of new content to talk about. This quest has kind of annoyed some people, and I can definitely see the reason why. They're definitely real pains in the ass with very, very little room if you don't have really good medals to improve outside of just pulling for more, and even then it might not necessarily help you. I can just show you really quickly the setup that I used, but again, it's really hard to recommend, okay, you should use these medals just because all you guys are going to have different stuff. Just some general tips I can advise would be, if you are using either Kari or Shion to give yourself some buffs, I wouldn't use any more than 2 casts. Like, already you're going to be pushing it with 2 casts, but the fact is that Kari has such a long animation that to get your buffs and your debuffs out, you only really want to cast it 2 times at max, because after that point you're going to need to start dealing some damage real quick, and the buffs you gain from a 3rd cast are probably not going to be worth it. So to take out round 10 of this one, I used these 5 medals that you see here, and instead of Genie right here, I had a HD Vanitas, gilded to 200% with attack boost 5 max, copying a Final Fantasy Record Keeper Terra. If you could borrow a Warrior of Light, that would probably work as well, but it wasn't working for me. I had to go in with a Terra just because of the magic attribute it dealt neutral damage as opposed to Warrior of Light dealing, you know, a little bit less based on the attribute. So that one wasn't super bad. I still haven't beat this one yet at round 10. I got to 29.18 seconds, so I'm very, very close. Actually, I might as well show you guys that one now, because it's very, very close, and it won't even take that long, so... it doesn't even matter what Fram medal I'm going to borrow, because they're going to die no matter what. I definitely want to beat this, but I really don't know how to improve my score, to be perfectly honest, is because I have to cast at least 6 medals here to just do enough damage to kill the thing. And I can't really get any faster than this. Like, I would like to have some more, like, single hit medals, if possible. Like, I might, if I had a gilded, like, let's say Armor of the Master there, I might want to sub that out instead. Look at how much damage that medal does. It's so good. Bang, bang. And it's going to finish just... Well, that was late that time, because the best I've ever seen, it was 29.18. So, definitely room to improve, but I don't really know how I'm going to be able to do it. So if you guys have any tips, definitely let me know. And for the Hammer Bros one, I'm like probably 1.1 or 1.2 seconds behind, or I think 1.3, whatever, behind the final time. So definitely want to improve. I'll keep working over that on the next few days, but I don't know how to really make a guide for you guys in terms of that, because I don't know, it's a really, really difficult challenge. No lie at all, it's a very difficult challenge. I mean, obviously you want to bring in single target medals for this one, single target medals for this one, and, you know, AoE medals for this one, but that's pretty much all the advice I can give, unfortunately. In terms of what I wanted to talk about today, I think we're going to go back over the Vexen event, because since the last time I posted a video, I've actually finished 11 and 10, which was pretty awesome. So I'm going to take you guys through my setups real quickly here. I'll go through this one first, because hopefully this one's actually a bit more applicable to you guys. It's my rating setup, and this is the one I want to use here. Okay, brilliant. This is the one I'm going to use here. So effectively what I'm doing is getting very lucky with a Fram medal. So a Fram medal that I'm borrowing is this one right here. It is an absolute titan. So it's a boosted Warrior of Light, which the guy got from the Kinryu got from the High Score Challenge, with a really amazing skill, keeping that cost right down low, and incredible traits, attack, extra attack, and ground enemy defense, and HP. It could be the perfect medal for this setup, for this challenge. It's absolutely wonderful. So again, I'm very lucky that I have a medal like this, and hopefully it isn't quote-unquote 100% essential for you guys to pass, but let's kind of talk about what we're going over here. So, to beat round 11, what I had to do was get particularly lucky a lot of times. And okay, so if you guys don't know the mechanic of Vexen by now, effectively from round 10 onwards, he has a counter over his head that decreases as you get further in. So I think for rounds 10 and 11, the counter is 20 over his head. When that counter decreases to 0, he's going to do an attack which shoots out 4 icicles at us. Those 4 icicles are going to get rid of 5 layers of general defense and 5 layers of magic-based defense, well, and speed and power. But I mean, those 2 attributes aren't really relevant because he's a magic-type enemy, so all we care about is boosting up our general defense by more than he's able to debuff us. And he debuffs us by 5, which is very, very, very hurtful. So, what do we want to do? We can avoid making him retaliate by never letting that counter hit 0. That's one strategy, and I'll show you guys that strategy in a second. Alternatively, we could let the counter hit 0, Okay, well, sorry, I forgot to explain. When the counter hits 0, he does that 4 icicle attack. He also does that icicle attack at the end of any given turn, half the time. Once he does that icicle attack, on the next turn, you know for sure he's going to do an uppercut instead. And that uppercut doesn't do any debuffs whatsoever. So let's go in real quickly, and you can just sort of see what I'm going for here. So I really wish we had Nick and Judy B. It would make this challenge just that much easier, using a positive attribute instead of a negative one. Alrighty, let's go for it. So I did get lucky here, and I'll show you guys what I mean in a second. So, alright, he has 5 layers of general defense like we learned last time, so we're going to get rid of those with Kyrie. We're going to throw off 2 casts of Vexen plus, using Naminé and then using Vexen itself. So my Vexen's rocking defense boost 3 max, and no relevant traits. Just a big damage dealing metal here with negative ground on it was very nice. And then I'm pretty sure I go in here and I'm effectively using Warrior of Light 3 times. So Warrior of Light boosts the counter by 2, adds 2 to the counter every single time it's used, which is huge. It's so good in a quest like this. And this is fantastic that he has extra attack on his, makes it that much better. He is definitely going to kick our ass on this first turn. He's going to just wipe the floor with us, so you can see we got debuffed pretty heavily there. So now we know on this turn he's going to do the uppercut to us. So long as the rule still applies. On this turn he will always finish this turn by doing the uppercut. But if the counter hits 0 during this turn at any point, he can still fire off the icicles at us. Him firing off the icicles at us doesn't affect the end of the turn at all. It's always going to go end of the turn. We'll go icicles, uppercut all the time. So he just fired off icicles again because of the countdown, but that doesn't. He's still going to fire off the uppercut now. What I need to happen is, like, I should live this uppercut. I should live this uppercut, even though I've been defensively debuffed. I should still live this with defense boost 3 max, and we'll find out in a second. If we ever get through this, even though I'm at negative friggin' 6 general defense, which is horrific, absolutely horrific. So in comes the uppercut, but yeah, defense boost 3 easily eats that. So now at the end of this turn, he's definitely going to fire the icicles at us. What has to happen here is when he does fire the icicles, each of the 4 that he fires off have a chance to do a critical hit on us. And if we get critically hit, I think more than once. So if we get 2 critical hits on us, out of the 4 icicles, we definitely just die. What needs to happen is we can't die here. So I'm pretty sure we can't get crit. It's either not even once or only once at the end of this turn. I can't quite remember, but we'll see pretty soon. Yeah, I got lucky and it happened for me with a bit of RNG. And I actually haven't been able to replicate it since, but I passed the quest, so it definitely happened at least once. It wasn't just a dream. I can see now that actually I passed it. Alright, here we go. So watch the numbers over my head. That was it. Okay, so that was it. I only got crit once. Fantastic. So I only got crit once. Could you see the numbers? So it was like 1800, 1800, 1800, and then one of the crits was like 3200. But I still was able to live, which was fantastic. Now that I've done that, I've effectively bought myself 2 extra turns, right? Because again, we always live the uppercut. So all we have to do is live the icicles, and then effectively we get a free turn after that to attack again. So effectively, every single time we live the icicles, we essentially buy ourselves 2 turns worth of damage. And let's say we need second chance, we need the pet version of second chance, and then we'll eventually die after being hit with enough icicles. Effectively, that means that we'll die on the first turn. We'll live the second turn because there's an uppercut. We won't even take that much damage. Like that. On the third turn, if we live again on the third turn like we just did, then we get the third turn for free and the 4th turn because of the uppercut. And then on the 5th turn, even if he crits us on that turn, we're going to get the pet to bring us back. The next turn was safe because of the uppercut. Then we're going to attack him again and we get second chance 4 or 2 or whatever to bring us back. Then we get to attack again and then we get to attack again. So we effectively get so many turns. Whoa, that's so lucky. Are you kidding? Wait. Oh no, that was that was because of the countdown. I was like, dude, he just didn't crit me again. No, that's not what happened. So yeah, if you're following me, all you have to do is get lucky like once, and you should have enough turns. If you're outputting enough damage, you should be okay. Hopefully. Again, I've got a really good friend metal here, which is keeping the counter from hitting me too often. There you go. I got crit twice straight away, which means I was just immediately dead. But it shouldn't matter. He's only got 1600 bars left now. And I think... Oh, I messed it up before. Sorry, when I was counting out before, I messed it up because we die on the first turn. And we need the pet recovery to bring us back there. So we only have like 5 turns in total, assuming we don't get crit on one of the turns, to actually try and take him out. And I think, because we'll get uppercut here, right? At the end of this turn, which means we should be fine to take him out. He had 1600 bars at the start of this turn, and now he's got less than 1800, so he's only got 500 now. So we should be able to take him out. This is really cool. I'm glad I got this on camera, because I haven't been able to recapture it on camera just yet. So he should uppercut us here. We should be fine. Beautiful. And now he's dead. Cool. I'm glad that worked. Again, my friend medal isn't essential. I don't actually own Warrior of Light or Final Fantasy Terror myself, but if you can borrow one, they are fantastic medals. And if you have like an extra attack copycat medal and you want to copy it forward, hey, that's a really good strategy. At least in my opinion, because, well, here you go. That's stage 11 down. It worked for me. Cool. Glad I got that. Okay, I'm going to try and apply the same thing to stage 12, but I don't know if it's possible because I died to an uppercut in stage 12. And I don't, like, I had it playing off screen and I could hear myself dying to an uppercut a couple of times. So I'm like, how did that happen? But I'm going to keep trying, and hopefully RNG goes in my favor and I actually can get through it. But in the meantime, that was stage 11, which gives you the 500 modules and the 4th out of the 5 trait medals. So if you're able to get to this point, you've gotten 4 trait medals, which is pretty good. You're only missing out on 1,000 jewels out of 5,000, which again is 4,000 free, which is pretty good. Not a bad attempt, right? It's a very difficult challenge to be sure. So if you can get this far, I think you should deserve a pat on the back. I'll show you guys round 10, what I did for that. It's a little bit trickier, round 10. This is back when I didn't think I actually had the raw power to take it on, which I now know that I do. But I was trying a turtle strategy. I'm not going to lie, it sucks. It's not fun at all. But I guess I can at least show it to you guys. Alright, give me 1 second to re-equip it, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, and we're back. So basically this is a turtle intensive setup. Basically we're going to be casting as much general defense as we can possibly stack up. So as you guys saw before, he's going to debuff us with that 5 hit attack every single time one of the turn ends, and whenever the counter hits 0. What if we could prevent the counter from ever hitting 0? Then he would only debuff us 5 tiers of general defense every 2 turns. And effectively, if we can build up 5 layers, so if we can build up 5 layers, which you see here, I do have extra attack on my HPO, which I farmed back in the days when it was a Union Cross event forever ago. So hopefully you guys did that as well. If we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 casts of general defense up, then every single turn, basically, we're getting 5 casts of it, right? On turn 1, say, we get 5 casts of it, and then he does the icicle attacks and bring us back down to neutral. On the second turn, we get 5 casts of it, so we go up to +5. Then he does the uppercut. We're still at +5, so then we go into turn 3. We start at +5. We build up again, we get to +7. He takes us down to -5 again, but from 7 we go to 2. If you guys are following me. So we go back to +2 and we're still safe, more or less. Again, we have to rely on critical hits, but we only have to rely on critical hits. We don't have to worry about like huge, massive damaging attacks. So the big fault of this one is that we are reliant on not being critically hit, which sucks. It sucks to be at the mercy of that. And it took me a lot of tries to actually get this to work because I was just literally leaving it on, walking away, dealing like a decent but still pretty piddly amount of damage, and then finding that I'd get right to the end and I'd be crit, or I'd get, you know, right at the start and I'd be crit. The big, of course, secret here to not letting the counter hit 0, and hopefully someone's sharing it, that'd be embarrassing if not, cool. Thank you Wanda for still sharing it, is using this medal right here, which is the only medal in the game to actually reset the counter back to 0. So I didn't pull for this, but I'm very glad one of my party members did. Thank you Wanda. I'm using this setup right here, but I mean, you guys could do anything as well. If you had this, if you wanted to turtle, you could pretty much put that counter reset medal anywhere in your setup if you actually own one, so long as you never let it hit 0. That's obviously the main feature there. Never ever let the counter hit 0 and you'd be fine. And I'll show you guys what happens. It's not easy and it's not quick, but it got me through round 10. It didn't get me through round 11 because again, you're so reliant on not being crit, and it just makes it that much harder, but I mean, hopefully it'll work for you guys here. So can you see how we're building up a general defense here, as well as nerfing his offense? So already we're at, we should be seeing it now, we're at plus, you couldn't, it was hidden away there, but you couldn't quite see it. We're at +4 general defense right now, and now we're at +5. So he's going to attack us, and I think he kills us on this turn. Because even though we're at +5, oh, I actually lived it, holy crap. Every single time when I went to do that, I got crit at least twice, and I died on the first turn. That's great. This is pretty much the ideal scenario now, because we want to get crit as the least amount of times as possible. Obviously, we have 2 safety blankets, right? We have the pet giving us the HP restore, and we have second chance. Once both of those safety blankets are extinguished, we're completely out in the open, screwed, basically. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So, okay, can you see in that first turn, he debuffed us back down to neutral. Ready now, we should be at +5 again, right? So we just built back up to +5. He's going to do the uppercut now, and we'll still be on +5 in the next turn. So let's go ahead and bring his counter back up to 20, so he never is able to debuff us more than once in the same turn. Okay, uppercut is literally laughable, and you see we're at +5. Our power-based defense is in the toilet, but who cares? He's a magic-based enemy, so that's good. And there we go, +5. So let's build it back up again. Now we're going to build back up to +7. Which means that we shouldn't have anything to fear from his attacks, except multiple critical hits. Even if we get 1, possibly 2 crits in a turn, we're still going to be okay. It's just a matter of not getting any more than that. But the problem is we only deal a little bit of damage, relatively speaking, compared to his HP per turn. The problem with that is that with so many turns, the likelihood of you getting crit at least 3 times, at least once, increases, right? Because you're just doing it so many times. So here we go. We're going to be hit again. I don't believe this. Every single time I tried to record it before, I got crit tons. So I'm very happy this is happening. So yeah, I only got crit once then, which meant I was very, very safe. I think even getting crit twice is okay, because I've got one medal has an additional HP trait on it, I think. What does... Oh, my Shion. I just rolled extra HP on my Shion. That could be what's making it easier, actually. Yeah, my Shion has additional HP on it now. That could be making things easier. I'm not too sure. But I mean, yeah, if you guys have any additional HP traits, then the more the merrier, basically. So you can see we are like whittling him down, but it just takes a long time. And again, every turn, you risk the chance of being crit 2 or 3 times with those ice blocks. And the longer it takes, the more turns, the more chance it's going to happen. So again, we have 3 safety blankets, we have second chance, sorry, 2 safety blankets, second chance, and the pet version of second chance. Once those are gone, we're exposed. And I've had runs before where I was leaving this off to run, and I'd come back and find that I died with like, I think 100 bars of HP left was the worst it got. But it's possible. Like I did do it this way. This is how I beat stage 10 before I realized maybe I can just power through it. So I'll let this run a little bit more until I die. I cannot believe I haven't died yet. But it surely won't be too much longer. If it is, I'll just cut to it. Like, okay, there we go. So I got crits at least 3 times there and I die. Can you see that he already has only 4,500 bars of HP left? I can only get crit 3 or more times in a turn twice, and I've got to take out so many more bars of HP. So again, it's possible to do this, but you're in for a long haul trying to do it. And again, when RNG's on your side, it will eventually work out for you, but prepare to be doing this for a long time if you want to copy this exact setup. Again, it's nothing too special. You just have to rely on your friend medal, keep your gauges up. Again, the friend medal that I'm borrowing has SP1 on it, which is really nice because it's an expensive medal on its own right, but if it has the SP1 skill, then that's completely mitigated, right? So that's very, very helpful for me. Yeah, apart from that, I think we're just going to cut back out. I mean, this doesn't work with round 12 or above, or even round 11, just because he does so much more damage that the crit chance goes from, you need to have like only 1 crit you per turn, which means it's very, very, very unlikely. It's possible, but very unlikely and very time consuming that you're going to get through like all 8,000-ish bars of HP and only get crit 2 or more times, like once during the entire thing. Yeah, very unlikely. So I'm just going to quit out here because I've already done it, and it's going to be a long slog for you guys. And I think I'm going to keep attempting what I did to beat round 11, like the more powerful setup, on round 12. I don't know if it's going to work though, because I've tried it a few times, and I think I just get debuffed too often, and then even the uppercut kills me at some point, which obviously sucks. But I think we'll finish off with a daily Moogle pull, and yeah, hopefully this helps you guys out a little bit to get a little bit further in. Like I said, I think if you're able to succeed and get 3 or 4 trait medals, and you pull for the medal, that's a pretty good effort, guys. That's a pretty good effort. You know, they give us potentially 5,000 jewels, but nice, cool. I got lucky for once. Hell yeah, nice. Okay, I wonder if I can get 3 then. Do we have enough days left? Ooh, we're on the 10 days left. Cool. I get minimum 3. Yes. Nice. Nice. Ah, cool, I got lucky. Sorry, I got distracted. I got really distracted. Bugger. Oh, yeah. Right. Sorry, what I was saying is, if the event rewards a total of 5,000 joules, but you have to start paying to chase the remaining 1,000, that just doesn't make any sense. If you have to pay 3,000 and it doesn't get you any beneficial medals, the only thing it gets you is the ability to earn those additional 1,000 joules, you're not really making a smart investment decision. So, up to you guys. If you want to be happy with finishing off at 3 or 4 trait medals and, 3 or 4,000 out of the 5,000 joules, that's a pretty good effort. That's a damn good effort, and hopefully with this Vexen medal, we can go further in future Organization 13 events, and yeah, awesome guys. So I'll catch you later. Thanks very much for watching, and if there's anything you guys want to see from like my content coming forward, I've got an ideas board of videos that I want to put out for you guys that I think are going to help the community. But if there's anything in particular that you haven't seen addressed before by any, Reddit comments or Discords or any other YouTubers, and you want to see me give it a crack, please feel free to post down below and tell me what you want to see. But until then, guys, best of luck, and if you need any help, obviously jump on the Discord, we can talk about it there. And apart from that, I'll catch you later. Alright, all the best, guys. Bye.